Shrien Dewani is back in South Africa, charged with arranging the murder of his new bride, Anni, who was shot dead on their honeymoon more than 3 years ago.
Since then, he's fought extradition on grounds of ill health. But yesterday evening, he was put on a flight from Bristol to Cape Town to face South African justice. He's always denied any involvement in his wife's death.
A private plane chartered by the South African authorities arrived to collect Mr. Dewani from Bristol Airport. On board, a doctor, a nurse, members of the South African police force and Interpol. His flight left at 8 p.m.
This morning, he landed in Cape Town at around 8:30 our time. He was immediately driven across town in a police convoy straight to the Western Cape High Court. Once in the court, after a short delay, he was brought before a judge.
Well, our reporter Andrew Plant was in court for that appearance and he joins us now from Cape Town. Andrew.
Alex, after such a long, drawn-out extradition process, today was no dramatic court appearance, but there were some dramatic scenes outside the court today as photographers and cameramen, not just from South Africa, but from across the rest of the world too, tried to get a picture of Shrien Dewani on the final part of his extradition from Bristol to Cape Town. It began yesterday evening about 8 p.m. as he left the airport, and then today he was driven into court in a blacked-out people carrier, driven straight through those crowds and taken into the bowels of the court, the cells underneath court number 1, where he was formally charged, we understand, with the murder of his wife Anni on their honeymoon here back in 2010. And then we saw Shrien Dewani appear in court, the first time we've seen him for a very long time. We'll show you a picture that was taken today. You can see his formerly black hair now liberally streaked with grey, but he was very smart today in a black suit, a white shirt and a black tie too, and he spoke only once to confirm to the judge that he could hear and understand what was going on. Now, his family were in court today, sitting there with him too. As they walked into court, they were heckled by a women's rights group here in South Africa, a group that campaigns against domestic violence. Shrien's mum and dad, we understand, and his brother and sister too, but it's unclear how long they will be here in Cape Town because, of course, there is no imminent trial.
So what happens now, Andrew?
Well, as I say, the trial could be a very long way away. There is, in fact, an agreement between the UK authorities and the South African authorities. There is an 18-month window to put Shrien Dewani on trial. So effectively, when his plane landed here this morning, the clock started ticking. Now, he'll spend his first night here tonight and the next 30 nights as well, at least, in a hospital on the outskirts of Cape Town here. We showed you it yesterday on Points West, a place called Valkenburg Psychiatric Unit. That is secure. We understand he will have his own room there and he'll be put under observation by doctors. He's due back in court on the 12th of May, and ultimately it will be up to doctors here to decide. Once they've assessed him, once they've seen exactly what kind of mental state he is in, they will choose when and if Shrien Dewani is ever really fit to stand trial here in Cape Town.
Thank you, Andrew. Andrew Plant there, live for us tonight in Cape Town.